Next speaker, he's fairly political, he knows his politics, and he's founder of the Freedom Alliance. Please make a round of applause for Jonathan Tilt.
Hi everyone, thanks Debbie, thanks Fiona for organising this. Incredible turnout and brilliant to see these vast numbers here today. It's slightly absurd and obscene that I'm stood here in Oxford defending our rights, your rights, to move around within the city. We're not talking about freedom of movement between nations here, we're talking within a city or a town. I don't particularly want to be here doing this today. I'd sooner be out cycling, but it's a weird and strange world that we've moved into, one where that we have to stand up and, as Lawrence was saying, defend these fundamental rights. These rights belong to us. They don't belong to the state. We haven't given freedom of speech, freedom of movement, freedom of association, and freedom to run your own business. We haven't handed these over to the state for them to hand them back to us if we behave ourselves and comply with whatever the current absurd narrative is. Thanks. We're in a war here. We're in a war against globalist psychopaths, and let's not pretend otherwise. But it is a war that we can and we will win. If we avoid the twin perils of ego and apathy, and the speakers here today and the crowd here today suggest that we're starting to do quite well on both of those fronts. If we can avoid those twin perils, we can win this war, because our enemies are panicking. And they're panicking because their current system of control, their current system of enslaving us, debt-based money, is collapsing around their ears. And that I firmly believe is why we're at where we're at. That system, the inflation that comes at the end of empires as money dies, they've created too much money, they've pushed interest rates down, trapped everybody in debt, and then the interest rates go back up and they impoverish everybody. As that system dies, we have the opportunity to move to a better system, a freer system, and a more independent system. They're trying to move us towards one of digital control. Now this is brilliant day out. It's great that everybody's here, the numbers are here, but this has to be so much more than one day out. We desperately need you to go back to your towns, to your villages, to your counties, to your cities, and take back control in a proper and meaningful way. Not the empty slogan that was used a few years ago, but to actually take back control. We need you to start getting onto and getting into these councils to remove the Duncan Enrights of this world. We need to start to get people elected through the freedom parties, through the thing I'm running now, which is the Vote Freedom Project. But we need you all out of your comfort zones, going back and getting one or two people on each of these councils and stopping and frustrating this nonsense. And if we do that, we can win this war. I firmly believe that. We can stop the 5G rollout. We can stop their use of councils to enact whatever bit of tyranny they're planning next, and we can start to go onto the front foot and take the initiative. But that's not half a dozen people stood up here on the platform doing that. That's each and every one of you. We need thousands of people. It's 19,000 councillors in this country. We need people standing and removing those corrupt and captured councillors. And just to reiterate what Debbie said at the start, we have to remain an inclusive movement. We're across all cultures, all communities, all identities. Inclusion has been captured by the other side, but we have got to, because they are going to try, when the crisis comes, and the crisis is coming, they are going to try and get us to turn on each other, as they always do. And we really, please have got to avoid doing that. Because if we stand united, if we stand and fight for humanity, we can do this, and I genuinely believe we can win the war against digital slavery and tyranny. So we have to fight on all fronts, and whatever front they come at us with next. So thanks for listening, and go back to your communities and fight.